An expression.
Is a very spiritual thing to me.
A lot of expression.
Rhythm and harmony.
A form of expression.
Emerson Begay, and I'm from the Navajo Nation. We do powwow dancing, and it comes from the northern tribes. So we do the northern style of dancing, which are like the Sioux and Cheyenne. So those are the dance styles we do. But the thing is, we're all from different tribes, but we do all the same style of dancing. Northern is like the style that comes from the Sioux and Cheyenne, and then when they say Southern, that's like the Poncas, Kiowas, from the Comanche tribes down, one of the tribes, from the South. So that's why it's called Northern and Southern. To me, it's an expression of what your personality is, and then also with us, it's from tradition. That's the way I view it. No, I think it evolves like with anything else, and it changes. Kind of like, like you had the disco era, and then you had the hairband era, punk, and etc. Alternative, and then to me, it does change a little bit. But like now, they're going back to the old style, which was like from the 50s, 60s, and even back then. Some of those songs are coming back.
I'm Joyce Boyers, and I'm from the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians from Philadelphia, Mississippi. Well, music is like a lot of expression, and they tell stories also about like nature, especially in Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians. They have a social dances, which it relates to nature. There's a lot of dances and songs that's more or less expression with different types of animal dances and stuff. It's more or less cultural and tradition, and we just keep it up.
All right. My name is Alan Parrish. I'm a senior music education major from Panama City, Florida. I'm the tuba section leader, so that means I play tuba, of course. I'm principal chair in symphony band. Been here since 2012. Well, music is a lot of different things to me. It has many hats, I guess you could say. In some instances, it's a textbook. It's a vehicle for me to teach people. Music is a form of expression. It's a cliche answer. A lot of people don't recognize the ability of music to convey emotion, or they kind of idolize the fact that music can express emotion. But when you're getting down and you're playing your instrument, the emotion that's running through you also runs through the instrument. For example, whenever I play the third movement of Piazzolla's Three Tangos, it's a transcription for tuba. The title of the piece is Adios Nonino. The composer wrote that in memory of his father, and my father hasn't passed away, but my grandfather has. And when I play that, I kind of get a look back at my grandpa's life, and I'm thankful for him. And I can hear that in the music, and whenever I play it, I think about it. Music just isn't about getting all the right notes or playing the right stuff or playing stuff to make you better. It's about playing stuff that kind of expresses what you're going through or expresses thought. There is music that is entertaining too. Music definitely has entertaining value. Whenever I'm working out, I listen to music, and it's entertaining and it's motivating. Music has a bunch of different uses, a bunch of different meanings. I did go to the powwow. I think it's less authentic due to the context of society. In and of itself, it is just as authentic. But I feel like 200 years ago, there wouldn't have been as many outsiders, and it wouldn't have been in the middle of such a relatively urban area. The powwow, they were definitely living their lives, but I feel like there was an outsider spin on it, because they were aiming to educate the public about their culture, which in turn they were living out their culture by doing that. One thing that really struck me was how they tied the music to earth. So I'd probably say the music is literally earthly, literally from the earth. For Native Americans, their music is from the earth. For example, the drum, they worship through the drum, and the drum is a connection that they have to each other. I guess you could describe it as spiritual music for them. For example, that man with the didgeridoo, he felt like his soul was connected to the didgeridoo, and they really express themselves through dance in the music that they perform. Traditionally, they don't perform music, but at the powwow, they performed for an audience. But traditionally, the music was to get closer to the earth.
I'm Jim Davis. I'm an assistant professor in the English department at Troy University. Well, my oldest son, for instance, got his music education degree here. This has been 10 years ago, I guess, when he graduated. I know many of the music professors. I've had some music-related dealings with them through my children. Well, there's the technical definition, which I don't know, which involves rhythm and harmony and what is it, like 6 or 7 characteristics that must be present. I define it as something original, intelligent, lots of stuff I don't consider music worth listening to because it, isn't original, isn't intelligent, doesn't have some kind of structure to it. I mean, I do creative writing, so I have the same definition for good creative writing. It has to have certain patterns, certain structures, certain original elements to it. But then there's also traditional, cultural music, which I guess is no different from today's music. It's just a different time period. Well, I don't want to sound negative, but yes, I think it is less authentic just because it's a recreation. I mean, it's not the people who are actually doing this as their, usually a religious exercise or had a strong religious connotation and meaning and purpose. Nowadays, I think it's more to just try to recreate what the original was. I mean, I wasn't at the powwow this week, but I have been to 3, I think, in the past. It's interesting as a recreation, but yeah, I don't think it's as authentic as genuinely felt. I don't know. Maybe I'm absolutely wrong. Maybe to the people taking part, it is as heartfelt to them as it was to their ancestors centuries ago. As any religious experience does. Yeah, by religious, I mean cultural religious experience. They go together. I mean, it's hard to separate culture from religion. But yeah, it depends on the person who's experiencing it. It's not my culture. It's not a culture that I know anything about, so I don't feel it the way that somebody else would. Exactly right.
My name is Willis Raybon. I'm a Muskogee Creek Indian. That's how I come to be at this powwow here at Troy State University, this beautiful facility. Well, I am helping my wife because she is a gourd and pine needle basket artist. And so I'm the tote and fetch guy, and I just, for my own entertainment, brought along my didgeridoo. Didgeridoo is, according to what I understand, the oldest known wind instrument in human history. It's from Australia, Australian Aborigines. It's an ongoing culture and civilization. It's been documented for 50,000 years, and they still practice their own certain religious forms. The didgeridoo is a very important part of that, and it's a trance-inducing instrument and a ceremony that brings the participants into what they call dream time, which is out-of-body experiences. How I've experienced this is the deep resonance, almost like some of the stuff known with elephants, where it's such low tones you can't really hear it, but you feel it in your body. And when I learned to play it, and the folks that showed me, they really say that the instrument plays you, because you think about it, your sinus cavities and your throat, and your mouth, and your nose, and your lungs become part of the resonance chamber of the instrument. The instrument is just where the sound comes out. Music is a very spiritual thing to me. I mean, I certainly appreciate all kinds of music, genres. Grew up in the rock and roll age. In this context, I have no formal music training. I was actually asked to leave the high school chorus because I can't hold a note. And that's why I picked the didgeridoo, is there's no sheet music for it. I mean, even in drums, I do some drumming. There's sheet music, but for these old instruments like this, there's no sheet music, and there's not the 8 scale. Folks nowadays, they sell them tuned and all that, because you can put a tuning meter on it. I think this one actually is a E. But you can imagine 50,000-year-old civilization didn't know anything about the European way of noting music. So just whatever comes out, comes out. And so back to what does music mean to me, it's an incredible spiritual experience, no matter how you appreciate it and come to know it. And without getting into too deep of things, I see it as in the beginning was the Word. So the transition from energy to physical form is through vibration. And I think that's how you see it, how you see people sing hymns in church, is to get everyone breathing together and making similar notes. You experience things that modern Western science hasn't figured out how to put a meter on. Although there is an interesting little branch, not well studied or known of, called cymatics, where some professors have put various powdered materials, seeds, flowers, on drum skins and played different tones, and just all on their own they form spirals and mandala forms, all on their own, just through vibration. That's what it means to me. It's like I have no training in it, and I just do it. Well, it's very, at the same time, simple and sophisticated. Different from what goes on in the Native American community. Men and women play equal roles. The women are a real important part of it, and actually the clapstick is used with the didgeridoo, so that establishes one part of it, and I'll just simulate it, and it's just this basic rhythm. And that's what's known, particularly when people go into trance states, is you need something to bring you back, because you'll get lost and your body will physically die, because your mind and your spirit has gone so far away. And it's so, from what I can understand, I had never gone that far out, beautiful, that you don't care to come back and experience this particular dimension. But your body pulls you back, and so that's what happens in a communal manner. It's not an individual thing, and what I do know from tribal ceremonies that actual people in the tribe ever participate in, it's not open to the public. It's called tribal mind, and it's actually sharing a feeling and a thought together. It's a good time now. I'll show you an example of that. to show the difference in the notes. How they sound is certainly dependent on the kind of wood it's made from. That one's made from cedar. I made all of these. The one I was trying to do is the kookaburra. The other one is a wavering, and that's supposed to be the wind, or rain in the wind. And I'll try and do that a little more on this one here, and you'll know the difference. And this one, this is made from mimosa tree that fell down in my yard.